The takeaway from you sounded thus far is you're not doing anything different relative to what we've learned thus far.
Correct, Scott. I'm staying invested. 3 quick reasons, quick bullet points here. First off, very importantly, vaccines and treatments for COVID are lowering the mortality rate. That is vitally important. I heard what Kayla said about the economy is tied to COVID. I would modify that. It's tied to COVID mortality and hospitalizations. We have treatments now, and they matter. Second bullet point, the rest of the market outside of FANG has labored since May. The cyclicals, the reopening, the value, whatever you want to call it, really outside of FANG and the rest of the large cap tech, the market has labored, and that leaves a lot of room for catch up. Finally, and this is also very important, whenever you have a seismic event like the original onset of COVID, there are always aftershocks, and that's what this is. It's not unlike the way the European Union threatened to blow apart after the financial crisis. There are aftershocks. They have a lessening impact. Their shock value wanes over time. That's what's going to happen with Omicron. You should not be selling here. You should be staying invested.
So Steve Weiss, Jim Cramer earlier on the network said, don't panic. If you panic and sell, you're going to miss the opportunity and you're going to buy them back higher. How do you see things in light of what Jim Lebenthal said and those comments from Jim Cramer?
Yeah, I agree with Jim. And on Friday, I sold nothing. And I actually did some buying, some trades. I'm out of them all now. I even bought some Boeing when it got down. Didn't buy it at 195, the low. Got it about 196 and bought a bunch of calls in some positions. And did well in most of them. The financials, of course, are still down, which puzzles me. They should recover bonds. But here's how I see it. I'm not really worried about this in terms of it hitting the markets. What I'm worried about is if it lessens what we've seen as an easing of the supply chain, because Malaysia, Asia, other parts of the world, and we're looking at Germany, they were on the verge, some of them, of closing down before this variant came out. So if this variant is found to be more deadly than Delta or some of the others, it could really impact the supply chain further and drive inflation higher. So what this does for me, and the market, Jim's right, had been sort of like wallowing around. Some sectors have been in a downtrend for the last half month. But what this really heightens is the second week of December in terms of its importance, because we had CPI the 10th, we have PPI on the 15th, and we have the Fed decision on the 15th. Now we will also have the results, hopefully, because they said it'll take 2 to 2.5 weeks, of what the testing is on the variant. And if it's shown to be more dangerous, we know that there are more variants. There are 32 versus only 2 from Delta. So it's going to be tougher for the vaccines to take care of all of them. But that potential is a flashpoint for the market. Will it keep the Fed on hold? I'd been looking for them to accelerate the taper and to tighten in the May timeframe. Right. I don't know. So there's a lot up for grabs. I don't think it's a slam dunk. Market rallies to the end of the year at all.